Making waves, these women are challenging skinny and hairless surfing stereotypes. Kanoa Greene was born into a surfing family, but for a long while, she didn't think she belonged in the ocean. I'm Hawaiian, and surfing has been part of my family from the beginning. My uncle is a well-known surfer in Hawaii, and so I was immersed in that world, she told CNN Sport. Growing up in Orlando, Florida, Greene spent a lot of time at the beach surrounded by surf culture. But despite longing to surf, she grew up thinking surfing wasn't a place where she belonged. I never saw anyone who looked like me out there, she said. I never saw anyone who looked like me out there. Adventure isn't about being a specific weight, shape or size. Period. Last week I was snorkeling and swimming with sharks in the Maldives, and this week I'm surfing and riding ATVs in Dubai. This body has no limits. This body can do all the things. This body is living life to its fullest. After years of dreaming about riding the waves, she finally decided she wanted to give surfing a try, though it took Greene another 2 years to leap into the water because she couldn't find surfwear that fit her. And that really discouraged me because the industry is telling me that I don't belong here. Elizabeth Sneed, who started surfing 5 years ago, had a similar experience. It took a bit of a toll on me because even when I would go and try to buy performance swimwear, the things were not either available in my size or, if they were, they weren't really designed to fit my body type, Sneed, 31, told CNN. If you think about it, right, a triangle bikini with string-tie bottoms is not ideal, if you have a double D chest and larger hip structure. I got to this point in my mind where I thought it was punishment for being overweight, she said. 2 years after first deciding to surf, Greene plucked up the courage to finally give it a go. It wasn't until 2018 where I decided, you know what, I'm just going to be the person that I wish I could see, whether or not I have the right outfit. You know, I want to look cute, but that's not how it's gonna happen. If I have to go out there in shorts and a t-shirt, I'm just gonna do it for me and prove this to myself, said Greene, who now works as a fitness trainer and documents her adventures on social media. When people say surf culture, usually they mean a very Southern California and Australia-centric culture. You know, I want to look cute, but that's not how it's gonna happen. If I have to go out there in shorts and a t-shirt, I'm just gonna do it for me and prove this to myself, she explained to CNN Sport. And when we think about that culture, we see that it's been shaped by and for largely young, white, hetero men, who have a particular worldview, a particular definition of what quote good surfing means, she said. Historically, that hasn't necessarily included the unique ways that women tend to ride waves. Surfing's roots lie in pre-modern Hawaii and Polynesia, where the sport was practiced by men and women across all social standings. Meanwhile, many countries like Peru have rich surf cultures, and accounts of surfing on the African continent are said to go back to the 1640s. If we look at the long arc of surfing history, we know that right next to the first boys who were riding waves, there were little girls surfing right next to those boys, Hill explained. Not that the media and popular culture was showing that. Surf culture had a very narrow representation and has been quite exclusive, and exclusionary, of lots of different kinds of people, people of color, people who are differently abled, different races, varying ethnicities, said Hill. As a young surfer in Florida, Hill says she saw a lot of women represented in surf media, but not a lot of women actually riding waves. I saw a lot of women passively posed in bikinis, at least partially nude. They were almost always white. They were almost always skinny and hairless, added Hill. They often had blonde hair and blue eyes and were very much a heteronormative imagining of what a woman is, and that excludes most women. These types of attitudes even initially deterred a champion surfer like Risamara Machuca. The boys always made fun of me. As a child, I had a very peculiar funny little, bubbly body, Machuca told CNN Sport. And so I'd actually body surf. I'd keep my body in the water, water up to here, my neck. But because the boys teased me as a kid, I just never even wanted to try to surf, to be honest. After a relationship breakup in her mid-20s, LA native Machuca thought fuck it and went traveling and surfing, around Central America. I just got out there and I didn't see that many other women like that, so it was really tough, added Machuca. Now, at 45, Machuca has her own line of bathing suits and is an instructor at her surf school in Sayulita, Mexico, where she teaches clients of all backgrounds and sizes. Maybe you switch up the teaching format a little bit, or teach a different way to stand up, or you actually realize, like, wow, these women are amazing. They're these big, broad, strong, confident beings that just needed the right board or an opportunity to get out there and do it. Sneed agrees. We rarely ever see people in the beginner to intermediate space within surfing at all, whether you're male or female, she said.